So it is not the first time that Joe Biden has said these things. Let's speak now to Madeleine Dean. She's the Democratic Congresswoman representing Pennsylvania's 4th Congressional District. Congresswoman, thank you very much for joining the program again. It's great to have you on. So people in your district, voters in your district, women in particular, are exactly the type of people that President Trump wants to win over with this message of law and order. Do you think it's effective on them?
Not at all. They're not fooled. Just because someone says he is the president of law and order over and over again, all evidence to the contrary will not make it so. And I have to tell you, my constituents here in suburban Philadelphia and beyond are not fooled. Joe Biden could not have been clearer and has been consistently clear throughout his 40 years of public service that there is no place for violence, for rioting, for injuring anyone or their property. That what is appropriate in our country, and it's enshrined in our First Amendment, is peaceful protest, is bringing your grievances to our country, to our government. This president is presiding over what is going on in America. Let's just layer it in. He has fought to suppress the vote. He has cut short, or wants to cut short, the census. He's using the Justice Department, which should be the top law enforcement agency, as his own political law department. He has stopped congressional briefings on intelligence and election interference. He has physically put down peaceful protesters by the use of his own administration. This is not the law and order president. He does not regard the law, nor does he want to encourage order. He wants the exact opposite.
Congresswoman, you are in a fairly safe Democratic district. You won by 63% to 36% in the 2018 midterm election. But I wonder whether even in your district, the fact that the press, the politicians are focused on law and order rather than on COVID makes a difference in the race.
Well, I think it's a planned distraction by this president. And thank you for thinking I'm in a safe district. I'm in a district that cares deeply about the rule of law and our precious democracy. And so what I see is a president who is not the law and order president. He's Orwellian in his expression. Take a look at his use of the White House for a campaign stunt or series of stunts, a spectacular spectacle. My constituents are incredibly offended by that. Imagine if I had used my campaign offices for fireworks about reelecting me. I'd be hauled the heck out of office, as this president should be. Just because he mouths law and order does not make it so. In fact, he is the one who, and our impeachment showed, he is the one who does not care one whit about our Constitution or the rule of law. Take a look at what he has done in terms of FDA, what he's done in terms of CDC. And you're absolutely right. It's all about the distraction because 183,000 Americans are dead from coronavirus, and there seems to be no end in sight.
I wonder if I can just jump in, Congressmember. Even if the unrest is occasional, these pictures from cities are going to be played again and again, giving the impression to some voters that Democratic cities loyal to Joe Biden are not peaceful.
I absolutely understand that. But it's just simply not the case. What is true is that every member of my caucus, every Democratic person who is a Democrat, agrees there is no place for lawlessness. You know, we just recently laid to rest John Lewis. And what did we praise him for? Petitioning his government peacefully for nonviolence. That's what we stand for. That's what my Democratic caucus stands for. That's what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris stand for. So yes, you're right. It's an abuse of video to try to foment these things. But recognize, too, that it is the president himself who is trying to incite violence. Notice how he didn't call out the extraordinary murder by a 17-year-old with an AR-15, Kyle Rittenhouse, of 2 people publicly on the street. The slaughter of Americans in an American city. Where was our president to call that out is absolutely grotesquely un-American. Where was our president when we know that Jacob Blake was shot 7 times in the back, a black man, shot 7 times in the back, and as he lay in a hospital room paralyzed, he was shackled. Strange version of contrast. My constituents are not fooled. They are very upset, and they're going to come out and vote.
Okay, Congresswoman Dean, thank you very much for joining the program.
Thank you for having me.